I am deeply concerned myself. I am deeply concerned with what is happening around the world. Some people, they have, a simplistic approach to issues. They don't want to, they want to be basic. Somebody was telling me, no, don't talk about the war in Middle East. It is beyond your political scope. I mean, when you are a politician, especially you are trying to aspire for president, you are aspiring for presidency, to lead a country. You are aspiring to be part of government. I don't understand when people say, no, don't talk about this. No, that is too far. We are living in a what do you call global what? Yeah, the word is escaping my mind. We are in a global village. We are living in a global village at the moment. The world is just at the palms of people's hands. Yes, thank you, Mwanza, indeed. Global village. The world is in your hands. If you have a smartphone, the world is in your hands. The world is in your hands. There is nothing that you can't access. So stop being lazy. This is my number one exhortation. Stop being lazy. The world is in your hands. Stop being lazy. Explore what is happening. Know what is happening. Inform yourself. Gone are the days when people used to sit before TV to hear the news about what is happening here and there. No. Gone are those days. Now, your information is on your palms. That phone you have can take you anywhere in the world. You can know anything. You can know anything. Even when they are saying, no, they have bombed this place, you can do a Google map, 3D search. You will see when they are talking about the compound of the supreme leader being bombed. You can be able to go there and see how the devastations the bombs have done. When they are talking about UAE, wherever, information is in the palms of your hands. So don't restrict yourself. But look, if you restrict yourself, if you don't want to be informed, that is your problem. That is your problem. Don't bring it to me. Don't limit me. Even I want to know what is happening in the world. And I comb the news. I comb the globe. I check what is happening in Latin America, in Europe, in the Middle East, in Africa, different parts of Africa. I check what is happening. I have apps that tell me, what happened the last 24 hours. Different sources. And when you are checking information, cross-check information. Don't just look at, Western media, because you have to understand that all media houses, they have got their policies, their editorial policy. CNN, it has its editorial policy. Fox News has its editorial policy. BBC has its editorial policy. So when you are scanning the news, then there is Press TV, there is Dachovela, then there is what is this? There is TRT, Russian whatever media. Then there is Al Jazeera. So all these cross-check your information. Don't just pick anything. If I'm on social media, no. Cross-check. I'm encouraging you to be informed, to use your phones. You buy expensive phones. In Zambia, we like expensive phones. You find that abali bonse fye namaule. Oh, sorry. Abali bonse fye, everyone. But if why expensive phone. But what do you use those expensive phones for? Ukuna kopa my picture. Ukuna kopa my picture. That's what you use those expensive phones. Use them, to educate yourself. I mean, myself, I'm not that educated. No. In terms of papers, that I'm a certificate, nothing. But I think I am quite informed. I am quite informed than many of those people, with the papers. I mean, I'm not that I'm disregarding them, I'm disrespecting them. No, I respect all of you. But the point I'm trying to tell you is that I inform myself. Even my articles, the other day I wrote an article and somebody was saying, no, Tayali cannot write this. Hello? Why can't I write? I've been writing from I don't know. I have been writing. I like writing. Even when I was at school, up to today, I've got diaries that I used to write. Back when I was in grade 9, I liked writing letters. My skills in terms of writing has developed over the years. So it is not today, and it's you people, you don't even want to read. Some of you don't even want to read. You write an article with just 800 words. No, it's too long. I can't read. How are you going to be informed? But busy criticizing. No. What? But you want to comment. You like to comment, but you comment on ignorance, out of ignorance. Educate yourself, be knowledgeable. Then you can engage better. And this time around, there is no field that one can fail to enter in as long as you are determined. Information, we are living in an information age. Information is readily available for you. Read it. Right now, we are having these wars. And I want to tell you that don't be too comfortable. Don't be too comfortable to say, no, this is happening in the Middle East. It will not affect us in Zambia. I posted about this and somebody said, no. You Tayali, what are you talking about? This war is far away. Zambia is too far from the Middle East. That is a simplistic way of looking at things. There are wars that are currently going on in this world. And these wars that are currently going on in different regions of the world, they actually affect Zambia. And this is why some of you have failed to appreciate. You have failed to appreciate the economic positive strides that President Hakainde Hichilema is making. You have been taking it casually because you don't understand what is happening elsewhere. You don't understand. That is why I find some people saying no, the appreciation of the dollar is being manipulated by the Bank of Zambia. It is because you don't understand what is happening elsewhere. You don't understand. Because if you do, you would actually see that Zambia is striving to stay afloat. Zambia is striving to be stable compared to other countries. Other countries are currently going down. And Zambia, the way we are really doing very well on the global scene. Zambia is being admired. When other currencies of other countries are going down, Zambia is appreciating. Zambia is among the best performing currencies. Kwacha is among the best performing currencies in the world. I can assure you that. You can check. It is not propaganda. This is not about Hakainde Hichilema. No. This is on the world scene. Countries are struggling to maintain stability. The peace, that's the peace that we have in Zambia. It puts us it gives us an advantage. It gives us an advantage. It puts us at a vantage position. And then the policies that have been implemented, it keeps us, afloat. It keeps Zambia stable. The diplomatic in the EE, it's very, very important. The diplomatic relationships that Zambia has, it is helping Zambia to stay where it is. So we must appreciate one another. We must appreciate those in government. And this is why I'm saying tonight I am calling for unity. I'm calling for unity. Let us be careful with what we say, especially here on social media. Be careful with what you say. Let us appreciate one another, because these challenges that are coming, if we are going to destabilize ourselves, we may not be able to withstand the pressures that will come, or the external pressures that will come in Zambia. I hope you understand that. If we as Zambians are not united, if we are destroying each other, it will be difficult for us to absorb or to withstand the external pressures that are coming as a result of these wars. These external pressures will definitely come. These external pressures will definitely come. But if we unite ourselves, if we maintain the peace, we will be a country that will be admired. We will be a country where people will run to. And that good reputation that our country will have will earn us something that we need, something that we need in difficult times. So it's not about Hakainde Ichilema. Don't get me wrong here. It is not about Hakainde Ichilema. It is about maintaining our country such that we are able to withstand external pressures that may come as a result of the instabilities that are going on around the world. Believe me, you need that. You need that. If you are going to be busy attacking Hakainde Ichilema, because look at this situation. People where there are wars, for example, people are now scampering, looking for where can I go. People are looking right now, you agree with me, that in many countries where people are affected by these wars are looking to destinations where they can go and have a breath of peace. They are looking. People in the Middle East, we like going to Dubai. But now, there are people in Dubai who are looking to countries where they can go and have, some fresh air, have peace. There are people who are doing that right now as I'm talking. The tourism industry and the what is this? What are these companies? The tour agents are busy, taking reservations from different countries, from these people that are in these countries where they are affected. They are busy looking. Where can I go? They are, right now as we are talking, people are looking. Where can I go? And if we play our cards right, those people will be coming to Zambia. And coming to Zambia, when they're coming to Zambia, we will have some economic benefits. Our hotels will be full and you will have jobs. There are some of you who are working in the tourism industry. When they arrive, the younger guys will be able to make money. The taxis will be able to make money because these people will have to book vehicles from the airport going to the hotel. When they go in these hotels, the people in the hotels will make money. So this is how you can position yourself if you are patriotic, if you are visionary people, if you are informed. So, imama can have a busy, hey, no, hey, how can they chilema, hey, whatever, you know. And sometimes that's why I even feel lazy to come, really. Sometimes when I feel like, okay, mbuke 001, ndambokula savaira. What am I going to be talking about? I come here, now uka 01, ndisha mkulala kana waranikani, na wachea, wachea, wali busy. Haka inde ichilema alefu ichitumbi, alefu kufumala kwa ichishimba. Ndisha mdebukila po 01, ina mdevuka 01 ndisha mkulala kana wachea Beverly pana nikani pa social media. Beverly, how can you say this? Fiabu profile mungulu ichitumbi alefu kufumia kwa ichishimba iwe efo ndisha mkulalanda efo mulelanda imwenomba kirikiti instead of positioning our country, speaking good of our country, showcasing our country, talking about the peace that we enjoy, sympathizing with those that are in war, mentioning, something, about these people, to who these people to come to our country. Not mulelanda pa fitumbi at yo, bale folk fumia kwe fishimba. Iwe, ifishimba. Ifishimba kuchitumbi. So these are some of the things that we indirectly affect us negatively without us realizing. So can we be positive? Can we be positive about our country? That is number one. Can we be positive about our country? Tuchefia nyeko. If you what if you laka unnecessarily, let us look at this. Haka Inde Ichilema will not change the country by himself. He will not. Haka Inde Ichilema will not. He will have the zeal, he will have the desire to change the country. But we ourselves will stop that, can frustrate that. We can frustrate that, depending on how we carry ourselves. When we speak good of our country, we are marketing our country. We are marketing our country. And the people who are busy looking on social media, they will see Zambia. This here is a country. Maybe I should go to this country. Maybe I should go to this country. You like it. Wemuntu mwaliakula ploti. You got a plot illegally. You got a plots illegally. Mwaliakula inganda follow. Because really some of these areas where you have built houses, it surprises me when you when it rains and it's flooding and you start taking pictures and you're blaming the government. In the first place, when you desperately went and got a plot in a depressed area without proper drainages. Mwakulenganda mweka. After yalo kemfula, it floods. Ero mwamokula kwa pictures number. Mune kwa pictures mune posta pa social media. You are not attracting people out there. Your own problems. You are creating more problems now for the country. When people look at that flooding, they say this country is not developed. This country is not developed. Load shedding yalipwa. But busy, kuna load shedding, load shedding is there, load shedding yabufi, I am a lighter, ya, whatever. When you're saying all these things, the people who are reading about this country to say, how can I go to that country? How can I go to this country? Start giving a positive outlook of our country. And that way, what is bad, like these wars and other natural calamities, Zambia can be a place where people can run to. And that is what we should be thinking about. Not always being negative. Trust me, it's not Haka Inde Ichilema you are hating. You are hating yourself. You may have a job yourself, but that job, that company which you work for, is globally connected globally connected. And when things are not happening properly, are not working well in other countries, even your company will be affected. And when your company is affected, next you realize that you'll be fired. Out of the postings, out of the negativity that you have been posting about Zambia, making Zambia look bad, your company will be affected. When your company is affected, at the end of the day, they will kick you out, they will fire you. And you'll be blaming the government again. What are we doing to give our country a positive outlook? It is not that the chinkaripa ine to be out here. Chilankaripa na inewe inerekenimie. Chilankaripa. But mufuayati, you want me to be so negative? How can I be so negative about my country? How can I be so negative about my country when I know that I am in a position where people have gotten a global attention? Believe me, I have a global attention. For example, when I did that interview, that live broadcast last time, when I did that, immediately my protection officer called me, and it made me realize, to say, who? So they are watching. They watch. They listen to what I say. So how can I now come here and be whatever? No, I can't be. And I'm just patriotic. That's why I'm against those, especially you, so-called former Chakuti, people who are even in government. You are in the forefront, publicizing negativity on Zambia, trying to paint Zambia as if Zambia is not democratic. You are even reporting, the Chief Justice to whoever, whatever, no, ICC. Come on, can we contain our frustrations? Can we moderate our frustrations? You can't just be throwing things everywhere. No, come on, guys. No. I'm against, and some of you, just because, you are my friends, some of you. But otherwise, if this nonsense of writing letters to international communities, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Zambia is not in a position whereby, we should reach that level. No. Yes, you would say, Tayali, you are in exile. But look, really, it's not that bad. Zambia is okay. Of course, there will be isolated situations where you don't agree with each other, but Zambia is okay generally. And this is what I say. Wherever I've gone, I've said, no. Our democracy is growing. We are on a right track. Except there will be a few isolated cases. And I'm one of those isolated cases. But now coming around and start throwing letters, what? Come on, you should look at your individual situation and relate it to the general. You can't put your individual situation and generalize it to say, this is what is happening in Zambia. No. How many refugees does Zambia have? How many people have left Zambia because of political differences? How many? Compared to other countries. Even in the countries where you are living, you have more people that have left their countries living in other countries. You have more people being jailed for what they post on social media. You want to present Zambia like, no, people can't talk in Zambia. Where can you talk? This social media is highly controlled now. Countries, even where I am here, every day you are reading in the news, people are being jailed. People are being arrested for what they posted on social media, for what they said on social media. So even yourselves, be very careful with what you post on social media. Be very careful with what you post on social media. You are saying, no, these wars are too far. They are too far. They don't affect us. Be careful with what you post on social media. Even relating to these wars, be careful. Be careful with what you post on social media. Even relating to this war that is in the Middle East. What are you saying? What are you saying? Some of you, you like to jump, to talk as if you know. Just because you have seen it on BBC. You have seen it on CNN, and you take this position, and you start criticizing a country, you start criticizing some leaders. Just because, whoever, be very careful. Be very careful. Be very careful. Don't just pick positions. Don't just pick positions and, start talking big. Be very careful. Be very careful. Even the news that you hear, be careful. Even what Trump himself says, be careful. Even what the people in the Middle East are saying, be careful. Don't just take a position. 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 I am insisting. Don't just take a position and start spreading your opinions, in the name of, you have got freedom. Because these things might affect you. You don't know who you are hating. You don't know who you are hating by what you are saying. You don't know. You don't know who you are hating. So be very careful. And then tomorrow you don't know what will happen to you. Tomorrow you might be appointed as a diplomat. Without knowing, they will appoint you to say, no, we want this person to go to United Emirates as an ambassador. And before they receive you there, they will do a background check and they will find what you are saying about United Emirates. Before you talk about an Islamic country, be careful what you say. Because you might find that, the country where you want to go or where you want a visa from is connected to a country that you were busy damning. So this situation, my brothers and sisters, in Zambia, can we assume the policy, the international policy that Hakainde Hichilema and his government have set? I want to commend them. You may not realize that President Hakainde Hichilema really has done very well on the diplomatic level. They have done very, very well. Very well. There have been situations where, I do admire Hakainde Hichilema for that matter. Really, I do. Because where I am, I tend to be blunt. And I see certain things and I just want to lash out. And I know, even Hakainde Hichilema and his government, there are certain situations where they would have lashed out. But they have been very diplomatic. They have been very diplomatic. And I admire, their posture. I admire their posture. Even on Ichitumbi Chawa Edgar Lungu. Some of you think that, no, it is a weakness. It is a weakness. The Zambian government is weak to tolerate this situation whereby, they have gone to court. Instead, they would have used other means. Trust me. As a government, they would have used other means. Government is not so limited in sorting out some of these issues. Government is not so limited. Government has got capacity to do things that, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. But President Hakainde Hichilema and his government, they have maintained a high level of discipline, a high level of diplomatic etiquette. They have really maintained that. They would have been cantankerous, especially in this world, in these days. You don't even understand where the international rules lie. We don't even understand. People are defying, international laws, and they're just taking things into their own hands. But Zambia, we must commend President Hakainde Hichilema. And I want to encourage them that please continue on this trajectory. We are not finding ourselves in situations here no. We are not. We are not. Hakainde Hichilema has got a global spotlight. A global spotlight. What Hakainde Hichilema says, you see it being repeated, being played in many countries. So if Hakainde Hichilema was not a good diplomat, he would have been quoted on some of these things, on some of these wars, on some of these positions. But you don't find Hakainde Hichilema being quoted entering Ifyama conflict, no? You only see Hakainde Hichilema being quoted on economic issues. And when he talks about these wars, he speaks good. He emphasizes peace. President Hakainde Hichilema and the Zambian government emphasizes peace, emphasizes dialogue. Like Hakainde Hichilema likes to say, peace, war anywhere is war everywhere. And that is our position. And I'm encouraging you Zambians to take up that. You may not like Hakainde Hichilema, you may not agree with him politically, but that is a position that we should take. On social media, I am emphasizing, be careful what you post, because it will affect us. You don't know who you are hating, and you don't know how what you're posting on social media will follow you in future. You don't know. So, refrain. Don't follow some of these international media propaganda. I've told you, even BBC has an agenda that they run. CNN has an agenda that they run. Al Jazeera has an agenda that they run. Yeah? So be very careful with what you believe and what you come and repeat on social media. Please. That is the number one lesson. That is the number one lesson. But then talking about wars, where are the wars? Zambia at the moment, you know, we are peaceful, and you may think that, no, we are not affected. But like I'm telling you, what you say can be number one issue that might follow you as an individual. And of course, as a country, because the information that you share, you know, especially on social media, you share a certain position and everybody's repeating it, it becomes a national issue. For example, look at a simple comment on the Ghanaian president. It became an issue for Zambians. Zambians are saying this. A simple comment, somebody generated that comment to say the president of Ghana is wearing a blouse. And it was repeated. It became a national issue. Such that people started saying, Zambians are saying this. It is the same thing on these other issues. Be careful what you post on social media. Be responsible. Don't be fooled by, you know, the open space of social media, which invites you to be careless. You know, this open space of social media invites you to be careless, invites you, you know, to say whatever you want because you feel safe. No, you are not safe. You are not safe behind that phone. You are not safe behind that phone. You can't just post things irresponsibly. You can't. We have wars, and these wars are going to affect us economically. Zambia, we are doing well economically. You know, at least we are trying to find our way. But with the wars that are currently going on, Zambia will definitely be affected economically. Zambia will definitely be affected economically because we are living in a global village. We are living in a global village. So we will be affected economically. It is inevitable. It is inevitable. And I want to sound the warning before it happens. I want to sound the warning before it happens so that some of you will be genuine to think back to say, okay, Tayali spoke about this. You'll be genuine. Although some of you will be jumping up, hey, Mwamona number. We should understand that some of these things may affect us. Some of these things may affect us. When there is a war, number one, there is high consumption of energy. This is one thing. When there is war, there is high consumption of energy. High consumption of energy. So we'll be affected in that area. What am I talking about when you say high consumption of energy? High consumption of energy, even this electricity. Zambia at the moment, we are not generating. We have not yet filled up the Kariba Dam. We have not yet filled up the Kariba Dam to the levels where we can have stable electricity, where we can be able to generate electricity, to satisfy our demand. We haven't reached yet that level. At the moment, we are still importing electricity. We are importing electricity. And as the war happens, mind you, even in the region, we have a war. We have a war in Congo DR. We have a war in Congo DR. And that is the rhetorics are currently smothering. The rhetorics are currently smothering. That war is smothering. And you just don't know when it's going to erupt. You just don't know when it's going to erupt. Just a few days ago, the leader of the M23 was killed. The leader of M23 was killed, together with other senior leaders of M23. Now, this, to some of you, might look like, it's nothing. No, it's not nothing. It's big. The situation in the Congo is big, and don't underrate it. It's big. Why is it big? It's big because, the Eastern Congo at the moment is in the hands of the M23. The M23. Who are the M23? The M23, these are people, or if you, I don't know if I should call them rebels, but I am being careful. I don't want to call them rebels, because these are people who believe that, they have got a legitimate cause to fight for the people of the Eastern Congo. To fight for the people of the Eastern Congo. I've been saying this. This is an historic fact. An historic fact is that when Africa was being divided, when the colonizers were sharing land, they did this disregarding the ethnic groups, such that they were drawing lines, dividing people who belong together, families who belong together. They divided. Others found themselves in this country and others in the other country. This is common in many African countries. In the northern part of Africa, we have issues in the Morocco, Egypt. There we have issues there. We have issues in the eastern part of Africa. The Ethiopian situation, Eritrea situation, Sudan. I mean, this is what was caused because of the demarcations. In Kenya, the Maasais, we have the situation there. We have a situation in Eastern Congo with these the Tutsis. Some of the Tutsis, are in Rwanda. Some Tutsis are in DRC. Some of you people who don't understand, who are lazy to read, you attribute the situation in the Congo or the so-called Banyamulengi who are in DRC. You say no, because of whom? Because they are refugees. They went there, in 1994. 1994. This is 1994 is yesterday. This problem has been there from the 50s. We have had this problem from the 50s. We had this problem. But you, the young people, you are being cheated to say, no, these are refugees that went to the DRC in 1994. No. The law to remove the citizenship or to chase the Tutsis in Congo DR was passed in the 60s. So this has been going there from the 50s, but it grew more in the 60s. So I find it strange when some of these young people keep saying no, these are refugees that went to Congo in 1994, when the problem has been there in 1964, before some of you, your parents were even born. So this problem is big, but it is a problem. It is not only in the Eastern Congo. It is a problem that is in a number of African countries. But my point is, the Eastern Congo now, I mean, war is almost getting up. It will erupt because America is involved. America has gotten involved. Tshisekedi, instead of engaging and finding a solution as Africans, some other countries have gone to to bring in Western countries, to bring in America. And at the moment, America really, I mean, with all due respect, they are not respecting international laws. It is about them. It is about them. I mean, they are violating international laws with impunity. With impunity. And so now this tension that is existing between Congo DR and Rwanda, we must pray that things don't go bad, because when things go bad there, we will have a lot of people running into the neighboring countries, and Zambia is one of the nearest countries. We may have a number of people coming into Zambia. And sometimes some of these people, when they come with their own issues. We will have some of the rebels running into Zambia with guns. And they will need to eat. At the end of the day, you'll be hearing of people being attacked with guns. That is how we get affected. So, some of you don't know about this, but we have got a war just next door, which is simmering. It's not simmering actually, it's almost erupting. Because America is involved. And it is a pity now that when, from my observation, whenever you hear America getting involved, instead of things getting better, they are escalating things. They are escalating things. And I don't know, God knows how far they will go and how much damage will be done in this so-called make America great again, make America great again. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. So we need to pray about that situation, because that situation, if it gets out of control, I mean, we'll be affected. We will be affected. This situation in the Eastern, in the Middle East, this situation is highly volatile, and it has got far-reaching consequences. I mean, honestly, one would have done everything possible to avoid the escalation in the Middle East. Any sober leader would have done his best or her best to make sure that the situation does not get out of control. What we have there, it's very dangerous. The Middle East is the same, what is the way? We are getting all our oil. You know, it is the hub of oil. And now, with this war, number one, oil oil supply will be highly affected. Oil supply will be highly affected. Even Zambia, we are getting our oil, you know, from the Middle East. Now with this war, you can be sure that there will be cut of supply. There will be cut of supply. Right now in Zambia, you may have oil, you may have fuel, but in the near future, you may have a situation where, you know, fuel there are shortages of fuel. It is possible. It is possible that we may have shortages of fuel. It is highly possible because the supply of oil is going to be affected. So bear this in mind. Bear this in mind. The supply of oil, the supply of fuel is going to be affected. And when the supply is affected, you also expect that the prices will also be affected. The prices will be distorted. The prices will be distorted. Before the war, it was, I think, 70 per barrel. Today, I was checking, I think it has even reached about 76 per barrel. So, as we go on into this war, if it prolongs, especially if it prolongs, I mean, problems will be something else. There will be more problems, there will be more consequences. So that war, don't think that it's too far. No, it's not too far. It will affect Zambia. It will affect Zambia. And it's not only fuel. It's not only fuel. Iran, in that area where they are fighting, it is a route for the ships. It is a route for the ships. And a lot of ships pass through the street of what? What is that name? They pass through there, and so even some other things we may not have them. Thank God we have fertilizer now. We have thank God we have fertilizer in Zambia. We have a factory that is producing fertilizer. But otherwise, fertilizer would have been one of the issues. But definitely there might be something that comes, because that comes from somewhere, and they will be affected. So Zambia will be affected. Issues of electricity, it's possible we may be affected. Copper, at the moment, Zambia is doing well because the copper prices have been good on the market. Copper will be affected. Copper will be affected. Remember, we have to export copper going to wherever. And wherever our market is, especially China is going to be affected by the fact that there is this war in the Middle East. So the consumption of copper in China might be reduced. And if it is reduced, I mean, copper prices will be affected. So we are going to be affected in one way or the other. And when it happens, let us be prudent. Let us be mature to recognize that some of these problems are not being created internally, but they are problems that are coming from outside. From our point of view, I think the best that we can do is to unite. Mind what you say about your country. Mind what you say about your country. Don't expose our country to the danger that is imminent from the external forces. And of course, be responsible with what you say on social media. Be responsible. It may affect you. It may affect the country. That's pretty much, I think that's what I have to say about that. I'll open phone lines and take phone calls just in case there is something that you want to be clear on. I think some of these things will come as a result through the phone calls. Let me get my phone. Yeah. So I have my phone here. Some of the things that you may want me to talk about, you can ask me. Of course, the Ukraine war is still also ongoing, you know. The Ukraine war is still also ongoing. Because of what I was told, now I'm just drinking water. Around here it's very hot. Around here it's very hot, so we drink water a lot. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, here is visiting, sorry. Pasanya kuno na tambo pamene mwalavizi koma mwakambangako mavuto yamene yaoneka koma muli kambe masolution mwachitama ningi.
He's saying I've not spoken about solutions. I've spoken about problems, but I don't know. I mean, basically, like what I'm saying is, number one is about what we say. Mostly, you know, these this instability going on around the world. Mostly, it is about which position you take. That is how you get affected by a war which is not yours. How you get affected by a war which is not yours. It is the position that you take. It is the position you take. Mostly, it is about the politics. What do you say? And this is why I am saying President Hakainde Hichilema is doing very well. Because President Hakainde Hichilema, you cannot say, is this side, is this side. President Hakainde Hichilema has been very careful, very cautious on these matters. So, our president is showing us an example of how to be good diplomats. It now remains with you. Because in this global village that we are living, what you say can go viral. What you say can go viral. And when it goes viral, you know, what is spoken about is the country. I've given an example on the issue of the blouse of the Ghanaian president. That issue was only spoken by one person. But it went viral and it became a national issue. It became a national issue. And our brothers and sisters in Ghana, they were reacting. Similarly, even in these wars, either the war that is happening in the Congo, either the war that is in the Middle East, there is also war, you know, in the Sudan. It depends on what you say. On what you say. So, the solution there is that be careful with what you say. Be careful with what you say. And don't just speak, because sometimes we repeat what we see on social media. Don't just take anything that you see on social media. From the government point of view, by the fact that I'm commending President Hakainde Hichilema in the manner that he has been handling himself in these geopolitics, I'm already saying this is a solution. Let us avoid going in the middle. Let us avoid being caught in the crossfire. Let us avoid being caught in the crossfire. You know, I like the statement that came from Radimwetwa, a government spokesperson, on this America issue. You know, people are saying, no, America. But Zambia has been very careful in the way that they have been handling the American situation. Frankly speaking, there are some cases where I've actually felt that, America is twisting our arm. But our government has been very careful in the way that they respond, including President Hakainde Hichilema. You know, I remember last time when President Hakainde Hichilema met the American ambassador, it was days before the American ambassador was issuing, certain statements which were not so good. But when President Hakainde Hichilema met him, he had a very good discussion with him. Some of these reports that they have been writing, America has been writing, there have been reports coming from, the American ambassador, or American embassy, the reports on the pollution. At the moment, Zambia, is being perceived as it is one of the worst polluted countries because of, the report that was done by the Americans. Just because China has got some investment in the mining, and America wants a share. Let's face it, America wants a share in our minerals to an extent whereby the ambassador said, we cannot just be giving you money and yet, we are not getting the benefit out of you, out of your minerals. He actually said that. And they have been really coming out so negative on our mining. And we are doing well, and yet we are doing well in that sector. But America is not very happy with us. America is not very happy with us, the way we are dealing with our minerals. They want to get a large chunk. And our government has been very prudent, very diplomatic in the way that they have been handling this situation. America comes up and says, no, we are giving you so much money and whatever. Zimbabwe refused to get their money on the health, whatever. They refused. And there was this propaganda which was going on to say, Zambia has also refused. Zambia has also refused. The minister came in and said, no, we are still talking. That is diplomacy. That is diplomacy. And yet there was a letter that came from the American embassy. So, somehow to traverse the diplomatic, the geopolitics at the moment, it's not very easy. It's not very easy. I must say that America is not helping. Is not helping things. In my view, really, they are not helping the situations. But I'm glad in the manner that our government has been responding to some of these issues. So that I am encouraging the government to continue. And especially those of you, even you people who are, especially if you are in UPND. UPND is a ruling party. And if you are part of the structures, be careful with what you say. Be careful with what you say. People might make an issue. When they just want to make an issue, they will find anything. They'll find anything to pick it up and say, this person said this, and this person has a position in the party, the ruling party. So be very careful, whether I'm ruling party, with what you are saying on social media. Be very careful. Then in terms of the issues of electricity, we are still importing electricity. The Kariba Dam has not reached those levels. So it is possible that the country where we are importing electricity, there might be an issue there. And that supply might discontinue or anything. And if that happens, it is not a time to say, hey, Mwamona, we told you, whatever. No. If you have a Kalitu issue, don't rush to social media. Hey, you go to social media. Hey, now there is zone shading. The moment you are typing that, there is somebody that is doing a search to say, where can I go? And they are reading about that, there is a problem. They won't come. So, it is about being responsible. Really, the solution is about being responsible, especially on what we say on social media. In terms of also stalking, be responsible also in stalking things. It's not just because now kwata nomba, now kwata ndalama, now kwata motoka, you just waste your fuel. We must conserve what we have. Let us conserve what we have. Let us take care of what we have, because we might run out, and when we run out, it might be a problem. I think those are my solutions. Hello? 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 What's happening to the network? Hello? 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 It is because of the network. What is going on with the network? What is going on with the network? Hello? Hello? And some people, they just want to, some people come here, they just want to fight me, They want to fight me, but no ways, you're not going to get that from me. You're not going to get that from me. You're not going to get a fight from me. No. You're not going to get that fight from me. Some of you, no. Ni Lent, it's time for Lent. So, ndevo kuchefya nyako ukuponta. Ni chefya nyako ukuponta. But, with due respect, some of you, who are you? Who are you? You can say whatever you want. Now you should penetrate. Hello? Ni manthendi. Lero nipa tu. Limbi nankane. Limbi internet night tanto ankane. Yeah. Hello? Nipa one. Nipa two kuno. Kuno it's already two. I think now it's the clamp. I need to pay my whatever, my Wi-Fi. I think that is a challenge here. Month end, what happens here is that the internet, they will not cut. You will still be able to access like this. But then, since it is cramped, you'll be struggling to make phone calls. You'll be struggling to make phone calls. You know, mountain knife kakare. Yeah, mountain na ya wafia. Mountain is. Ya wafia ma bills. Mtuan kwa ya ma bills. Kuno kuntu. Kwa ya ma bills. Ya ma bills ya fwa di pira ma dollars. Ya di cover. Ya di cover. Ya di cover. Ya di cover. So I think that is the challenge. I think I will not be able to succeed in terms of phone calls because I think my internet has already been, I don't know, what is the word? There is another word for that. Cramped. Yeah. I think my internet has already been cramped. So, I'm a phone calls. So let me just end here. I will not get into. I don't want to get into the details of, you know, the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, whatever. I don't want to get into those discussions because Palestine, kutuwa rufianya. Unmute your phone, but unmute your phone. My phone, no, it's just failing to connect. It's just failing to connect. When you call, it's just failing to connect. It's not about the phone being mute. I'm seeing a lot of missed calls, but whatever. I think my internet has just been cramped because it's month end and I've not yet paid my internet. So I need to resolve this issue. I think let me end here for now. I want to emphasize, don't think that the wars happening wherever we are isolated and we are not affected. We are affected somehow. And sooner than later, you will see certain things being disturbed, being destabilized. It is not a time for us to start taking to social media, expressing frustration. No, Hakainde Ichilema has failed, whatever. We need to be realistic, of course. I'm not saying that we shouldn't criticize our government. We should criticize the government, but we should be realistic also. Champagne, do you even understand my post? Okay. Yeah. Brad Musa, read comments. I'm trying to read the comments. But really, there is no comment that is. I need a phone call, please. Do you need a phone call from me? You need a phone call from me? Yeah, anyway, let me just leave it there for now. I can even go and rest so that I have energy. Even the data network is poor in some parts of Lusaka. Oh, you see? We are calling, no answer. Yeah, and it's not ringing. My phone is here. Need Africa should prepare. Yeah. No, Africa should prepare, and I hope Africa, I wish Africa can unite. This issue, you know, some of these things, like I'm saying, I can't be responsible and just talk anyhow. But really, Africa needs to unite. Gone are the days when we're supposed to be rushing, you know, to America. We're supposed to be rushing to Britain. Now we are supposed to be, you know, looking at issues from within, sorting out issues by ourselves somehow. We cannot continue being puppets. We cannot continue being under the shadows of others. Anyway, let me go. Bye. Good night. Thank you very much for watching. We'll talk again later. Bye for now.